Well, greetings again. This is Dr. Bill Wyatt with the American Orthodontic Society, and I've got a kind of a hoarse voice this morning, but I need to get on with these videos. I want to talk to you about moving teeth with bonded blocks, and there's probably 6 or 8 different ways you can move teeth by just bonding a block on top of the teeth. We have a video showing how to bond a block. And this first case I want to show is one I never did do it. I never saw one or thought about doing it this way. But I want to tell you how you could probably do this in the same manner as we did surgery. I sent this young lady to surgery. He waited to a certain age before he did it, and I think we could have done it orthodontically without going through the surgery. So let's get started on this, and I'll see if we can get this pencil up here going, and I'll show that. I can't get it to stay over there. Can I draw? Yeah, that can draw. Okay, here we go. Now this is the young lady, and you will notice that this right jaw over here is longer than the one on the left side. Something happened to her in her early childhood that caused this side not to grow as much as this one did. And so this jaw grew down over here, and this one didn't grow to keep up with it. So if I'll erase that and we'll look at it. Now if you just looked at her teeth together, these are together over on this side, and we've got a gap over here about, it's not a half inch, but it's about 2/8 of an inch wide there. Let me erase that. You can see it without that. Now after years of other work and seeing this, I decided this could have probably been done with just bonding some blocks. And what we would do would bond some blocks over on the right side. Let me see if we can show that in the mouth. Now, we would open this and bond a block on it going all the way back on these teeth. And that would keep these teeth apart. They would push up and these would go down. It'd make it, you'd think, worse than it was. But that would open it on this side, however much you widen the depth of this block over here. These would not be touching at all. Now, if you're biting on this, this will push these up and these down while you're biting on it. And while these are up, they will move down and up. These will move down, these will move up. These will move toward one another on this side. And so we would move these toward one another, and then we would take this block off over on this side. We'd have these teeth touching and these not touching. So these would go down and these would go down, and this would go, these would go up and this would come down. They just drift together when they're not touching. They don't get bigger, they just kind of drift together. And so this would leave a gap over here when you get through with this, and there'd be a gap over here. And now these teeth would touch and these wouldn't, and these would move together. Now I feel like that would level this out. We did this young lady, and the old surgeon waited, and I'm gonna run through it real quick. And he did as best he could with operating. He had to open this and bring this together and maybe shorten this over on this side. But it never did look quite good. Now I'm going to run through it real good and show you what it looked like after he finished. They mounted this case so you'd see it like that. And then he went in and did the surgery, and you can see it looks a little better over here. He got this to drop down, but it still wasn't like I would like for it to be. But it's pretty close doing the surgery. So this is after the surgery's done. We went in and touched this up and corrected it orthodontically. So this is one way of moving the teeth with bonded blocks. Now, so here we start off, and if you bonded something over here and kept it wider, it let these move together. Where they didn't touch, they would move together, and these would move apart. And then you take it off, and you got the gap over on this side. These would come together, these would go down, and you possibly could level this without doing surgery. So we'll show several of these cases where we've bonded blocks on one side, and I'll show you what happens to them. And okay, I'll hang up on this one, and that was as good as we could get it, but possibly this leveled out a little bit better with the surgery. And that's the end of the pictures that I've got. We lined these up and worked on them. Everything got them straight, but she still had some of this difference in the sides of the teeth. So thank you for watching, and I'll go on to the next case.